Welcome to Pioneer Movie Preview. I'm Glo.
I'm Jaden, and our film today is The Upside. So today we're we're going to be talking about The Upside. So where would you like to start, Gloria?
I'd like to start off. The movie features Kevin Hart and another actor's name I do not know, but Kevin Hart plays the main character Dell and helps.
He helps Philip, who is a paraplegic, who is in need of a caretaker, which is pretty cool.
Would you like to elaborate on what that word means?
Paraplegic means that someone who is paralyzed from everywhere down.
Neck down. You're paralyzed from the neck down, y'all. Yeah. And he actually got paralyzed from a parachuting.
Parasailing.
I don't know. You fly in the air. On a risky day, he fell and got paralyzed.
It's really sad. It's so tragic how just someone can go from walking perfectly fine one day to the next day, like you're paralyzed from the neck down. So it's like we gotta be thankful for like being here and able to walk like A-okay. And
Good. Okay, so the movie starts off with Kevin Hart that plays Dell. He's actually in a race, not a race car, but a Porsche with Philip that's paralyzed, and they had to get away from the cops, and then he fake had a seizure. Then it clips to the actual beginning of the movie of Dell. He has a PO, a parole officer, because he needs to get 3 signatures of jobs, of him trying to get a job so he doesn't go back to prison.
so while he's trying to get these signatures, he's going around to these, little iffy jobs where they're not really going to take him because he's an ex-convict. And he ends up in a lobby of this man who's super wealthy, who's Philip in the movie. And is it Dale? Philip.
Dale.
Yes, Dale.
What do you want me to help you with?
Could you help me out here? Really?
He's in the lobby at Philip's penthouse in New York. Are they in New York?
Yes.
They definitely are in New York. I don't know my geography, y'all. And he's the least qualified for the job. He thought he was going to be a janitor, but he was actually going to be a caretaker. But it's a more difficult word for it. But you really have to help him throughout the day, and it's a live-in thing, a live-in job. So he walks in because he has to go pick up his son for school, and he can't be late for that because he's already a bad father. And he walks in and says, "Hey, I just need a signature and then I'll leave." The Philip guy, he's so rich and he's so annoyed with, I guess, other people. He was like, "You have the job." And it made his assistant really upset. Yvonne, some redhead baddie, she was in there. And so he goes to pick up his son, was late, went to go talk to his son after stealing something from Philip's house and giving it to him for his birthday, very late birthday. And then he got kicked out and can't see his kid and his ex-girl.
And he actually feels bad for stealing from this man who is a paraplegic. So as the movie progresses, you have this ex-convict he can't even take care of his son, much less an almost elderly man who's literally paralyzed from the neck down. As the movie progresses, he doesn't really like the job in the beginning, and it's not for him. He can't take care of the man, but he slowly learns wow, I need to straighten up my life, for me, my son, this man who literally cannot walk, and he realizes wow, I need to actually show my appreciation for being able to walk. So he starts to have this love for this old man, and he ends up actually putting his time into helping him out and doing what's right, and they go out and do goofy things together. And
They smoked once. They smoked pot or weed, whatever you want to call it, marijuana. And then they got 14 hot dogs at a place. That's one thing they did together.
one of multiple things that they had done together, which is crazy to think about this paraplegic man.
Okay.
He's smoking pot. And
I feel like the movie overall They both have their own pity parties, and one is just a father that ended up in prison because his life situation wasn't good. He didn't have a job. He was a con artist just like his dad. Just like one time when he went to prison, that's the only time he's seen his father, one of the only times he's seen his father in his life, and he said, welcome home. And that's when he realized he had to straighten up. But the other side, the very rich, wealthy man, he said money doesn't bring you happiness. He had a wife that died from cancer that really made him upset, and he just hated life and didn't want to live anymore after that. So after selling and being revived, he actually made Dell sign a thing that says, you can't revive me if I die. So Dell kind of brought the life back into him, with Philip bringing life back into him, making him go straight because of the money he received. When he realized that he was getting a lot of money from the job, which he called a gig the whole time, he did, he got really more straightened up with the job and was learning everything, like, because he is paralyzed from the neck down. So he had to feed him, he had to bathe him, he had to, change his, like, pee bag and such. And yes, then they went on a date, go ahead.
They
Didn't go on a date, someone else went on a date.
Well, Dale brings Philip on a date with another woman.
That he was been
That where you're, yes, where you're elaborating here. And they, obviously as a man who's paralyzed, you're not able to, it's a lot harder for you to have fun on this date and like feel like normal and just like okay, but like at the same time you got to think there is no like normal, like this is a real thing that happened to yourself or Philip. But as they're sitting on this date, this woman's not really like feeling it, and she, like she doesn't want to have to take care of whoever she's with, like it's how she feels, which is really selfish in a sense, but it's like that's also how she feels. And some people would want to go on this date and possibly take care of this man for the rest of his life, which would kick Dale out of his job.
And that would not be good for Dale because he really needed the money because he was poor and he had to provide because he has never paid child support apparently in the movie. Also going back, after that date, he was so upset. He was like, you're fired. He fired Dale. Dale got $50,000 check one time for making a painting, and Philip sold it to one of his really rich friends. So he had 50 grand. So he started his own business, got his baby mama and the kid a new house that they share, and he started his own business of making really fast wheelchairs for, how do you say that word?
Paraplegic individuals. And because he actually fixed Philip's chair and make it go really fast, and that's why he's on top of it really happy right now, so he didn't have to walk next to him. And Philip got so much worse after that. He started not talking to anyone. He didn't have hair the whole movie. He started growing out a beard, and he just wasn't doing well. He wasn't eating after he fired Dell. So then one of the people that also was in the house that helped him took him and went to go get Dell to get Philip to make him feel better. And Philip took him to a hotel, and then they went parachuting. Parasailing.
Again, but like as a disabled person, and he brought the life back into him, and he brought back his assistant that he secretly loved the whole time, Ivana, the ginger baddie, back into the movie, and they lived happy ever after.
That's right. It was a good movie overall.
Yes, it was a really good movie.
10 out of 10 recommend for sure. Would definitely rewatch.
Yeah. It wasn't the first time I seen this movie. First time I definitely cried, but this time, like, I really like paid attention to more details.
That's right. Me as well. Thanks for having us. Join us next time on Pioneer Movie Review. I'm Jaden.
And I'm Glo. And yes. Woo! Wait, let me turn this on.
Let's do it again.
You did right.